Yes. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the visual media side of the Parlay Magazine podcast. I'm your host, Jane. And here I have my special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Dean.
Yes.
I'm also part of visual media.
Slay. All right. Today we'll be discussing and looking over some of Dean's work that was submitted to the magazine and just getting a more in-depth review of everything. So, all right. Let's begin. Would you like to somewhat describe the picture for the audience as well as the title?
So the first piece we're looking at is a black and white photo. It's a small, very small comic. I don't even want to call it a comic. It's titled "We Were Explorers," and I don't know. It was kind of based off like the Martian rover, the one that Opportunity, was that the one that like died on Mars?
Something like that. Rest in peace.
And I just felt so sad. It was also inspired by this like manga called Chainsaw Man, and it has this like really cool moment where it has astronauts in it, and I just thought, like if we do evolve, if we do like advance in technology and we do end up like exploring other planets, I think it'd be so sad to be like the last astronaut on this like unknown planet.
True. Yeah,
it's very isolating.
Yeah. Do you have like an identity to this astronaut at all? Do you think it represents everyone as a whole? What is the thought behind it?
Well, I wanted this piece to feel very like isolating and like alone, and I wanted you to feel bad for this astronaut. And these arms are just in a lot of my art pieces you can see like arms because I just like drawing them, but I also feel like it represents how isolating some parts of like just being alive is. Like this astronaut didn't really do anything. He just like wanted to explore.
True.
And he like
poor
died.
Guy.
No, poor guy.
Yeah, hearing the like actual story behind this makes me really depressed. I'm like, oh my god, this is so like cute, whatever, like kind of gory sad, and I'm like, this is the most depressing thing ever. Do you have any like any constellations of background, or is it just kind of the stars or whatever?
I did like, I'm not good at it, but I did like a bow and arrow. I think is that Orion? No, is that the belt? No, that's the belt.
I do not know the bow and arrow one.
There's a little dipper in there. A little two stars next to each other because I thought it'd be cute, and also like the astronaut's supposed to be looking up, and I thought the two stars would be like him hallucinating, but it's actually like the eyes of the monster like coming at him.
Yeah.
And yeah,
a lot of thought went into this, man. Any other I guess sort of, I don't know, anything else behind this?
I don't know. It's a lot of my art is like goes back and forth between like being like black and white and being in color, and I thought this like black and white would represent it the best. I feel like it if I put it in color, it wouldn't have like that great of an impact.
I agree, especially being like comic book style, manga style.
Yeah. I also like got inspired by the fact that in like history I learned that like we kind of stopped funding NASA a lot of the time, and I felt so bad for it because like we used to be so excited to explore, but
seriously.
then after like the Cold War we just stopped, and
Fucking Cold War, man.
hate when that happens.
Now, really quick, I know we're on the topic of Cold War. That's an excellent segue into the next piece if you're ready to talk about that one. Okay. So the next piece we have is called The Red Scare. And, I really wanted to know the meaning behind that.
Gotcha. I wanted this piece to be like really, really saturated, and I didn't want you to look at it for a while. I just wanted you to look at it for a quick moment because it would hurt your eyes if you looked longer. And, I used a lot of saturated reds and then like this like low saturated blue, to like just for contrast. And like sad background. Sad. Oh, I named it Red Scare just because ironic. It was just funny,
It was silly.
I just wanted like this piece to have like a sense of anxiety while you were looking at it. And I made this last year after my dad died, unfortunately. R.I.P. to the homie.
This is gonna sound like I'm such an asshole. I'm like, Anyway, proceed.
Yeah. And like when my dad passed away, it literally felt like a void, like nothing was there, and I was just so angry about that I couldn't do anything. So I wanted to just draw it out, And like the hole in the chest of the person, that's literally what it felt like. And the person in the picture is supposed to be like me, but I kept it as mostly as a silhouette to like make it more vague,
I thought you were gonna keep talking.
My bad.
No, you're good.
And I mostly added like the blue tree just because I needed contrast. I felt like the piece was just missing something, and I added these like little spirals of different like variations of red just so you could focus on the person. Yeah.
I think although it does have a personal backstory and everything, I think just having the silhouette you can put anyone in a way in that picture, which is nice. Now I'm a little disappointed to find out this isn't about communism, but that's okay. Anything else you'd like to comment about this?
A lot of my pieces are in digital art, mostly because for me it's more available, like art supplies. I know an iPad. I use an iPad. An iPad is like really, really expensive.
Yeah.
But it felt like just a one-time purchase for me. While art supplies, it just kept like I had to keep like refueling like my acrylics or my oil paints and like my canvases.
Yeah.
So I opted to do like digital art for a lot of my art. And like there's some people who believe like digital art isn't really like real art. I disagree, obviously.
Agreed, I do disagree as well.
But I feel like it's just another way to express yourself, and it does make it easier to like find colors and like edit a few things. But I don't know, from like from like an emotional and like mental like standpoint, I feel like it would have had the same impact on me regardless of which medium I used.
Yeah. Now, I have noticed a theme of very like dark kind of anxiety inducing and which I think contrasts you as a person very much so because you're very bubbly, I would say.
A lot of my art is like really, really dark, mostly because like I don't really I keep tapping. Bradley, I'm so sorry. A lot of my art is like really anxiety and like dark blah 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 because I don't know, I don't really like being sad or like being anxious in person or in real life. I mean, I'll get nervous and stuff, but that's the extent of what I really do. And I feel like through art, it's like a better channel for me to like express my emotions, instead of just bottling it all up. Yeah.
Valid. little art therapy,
And yeah, slay.
And yeah. Would we like to move on to I think this is the last one that's going to the print edition.
It's a quick one.
It's okay, we'll go crazy, in a moment.
This one's probably like my favorite. Oh, what is it called?
This is called Never Alone.
Never Alone. Can you tell I never name my art pieces? I don't know.
What?
I go by like the blue one, the red one. Anyway, this is my favorite art piece that I submitted, mostly because I've never like used these kinds of techniques before, so I've never like done like I've never actually like painted on like Procreate. I'll mostly like do flat colors and like cell shading and all that, but like it was really fun to paint the eyes. And I will preface this by saying like all of this is like this art piece, Never Alone, was inspired by Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the poster.
Slime.
And the whole premise of it was like I was drawing this at a time where I wasn't really satisfied with where I was, and it was supposed to be like my younger self and like my present self like hugging and like wondering like what the hell is going on, like where they differed, and the eyes are just like I'll say society. It's society, and it's like it just felt like everything was coming down on me, and like I had to have like I was on a time limit for everything, and it was supposed to contrast how like happy and oh damn it, this is sad. It was supposed to contrast how like I don't know, like different I was growing up. I didn't worry about like doing my taxes or, like my next grade or like if I have to study or the amount of homework I had to do, a lot of this is school related. And arms again, of course, the arms in this piece, they're just supposed to be like anxiety inducing again,
Yeah.
And it's just supposed to represent like me running out of time and like everything's trying to grasp for me, and like if someone grabs you, I don't know if you feel this way, but when like someone grabs me, I just want them to like let go sometimes, and that's what I wanted to like represent in here. Like these arms that could grab you and they literally will not let go, kind of like a stain on you, like Venom.
Yeah.
And the rings around is just like supposed to represent like a spiral, like you're falling down this like rabbit hole. And I don't know, the colors I chose, like the red and blue contrast so well, so I always do like red and blue together. And I don't know why I made the person in the back blue. I think mostly because I wanted it to blend in more with the background, and the red, the two people to stand out a lot more. So yeah.
Beautiful piece.
Thank you.
Yeah, I definitely think this is another thing where anyone can like relate to this, especially being community college student, you know? Just like the sense of running out of time and seeing everyone like go past you in life in a way. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of my pieces, it feels like there's this, of course, there's like a sense of anxiety, but also like I'm running out of time, like that astronaut one.
Yeah.
We used to be we were explorers. Like he's running out of time and those hands are reaching for him. And then the red scare, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bradley.
So as a whole AP art, you know, portfolio, this is called We're Running Out of Time is what I'm hearing, you know? That's the entire theme.
Yeah. Yeah, so
It's like, so beautiful.
11 minutes, let's go.
Let's make it 12.
Cut that out.
I was like, no, I'm gonna keep that one in. Well, here, I'll ask you a question, not exactly directly about your pieces, but what mediums did you do like before digital art?
I used to just do like pencil and paper because that was like me being a kid. That was the thing I could get. And then it moved on to like Copic markers, acrylic paints, and then I try to do oil painting, but it's like really expensive and like really hard to do. When I was making these like digital art pieces, it was like after I had like a fit of rage and I destroyed all my acrylic paintings. I know, to this day I regret it, and like I feel like me doing so much digital art compensates for that, because even if I do like delete it, there's always going to be a trace of it somewhere.
Yeah.
And for my physical paintings, I literally cannot get those back.
Thank you, digital art. You know?
Thank you. And as for like my background in like art, I feel like I've always been drawing. Like I wanted to be an art major, but I knew I gotta get those bucks.
Gotta succeed or whatever.
And it mostly started through like anime and manga, because my dad was like super into it at the time, and I just got into like anime, and I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah. Well, I think you would slay. You know, I think you could succeed in that for sure. Did your art previous of like digital art like have such a like dark and sad backstory as well? Or did it kind of, you know? I mean, I know you said anime and manga and stuff,
I really don't think it did. I think it just started like when my dad died. Before I used to just do like a lot of fan art of like Percy Jackson. Yes, or like different animes, you know. And I feel like now it's finally evolving where I'm like creating my own like pieces, and it stemmed from like a really dark time in my life, unfortunately. But like, I don't know. It's like the first time in my life where I'm actually creating something instead of just like creating fan art of like this character that these people have just, you know, created.
Yeah. Got some personal stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to the red scare, I guess.
Hell yeah.
I'm like holding, or like the character in the middle is like holding their heart. I don't know. I thought it would be like an edgy part of like make it look cool as fuck. Originally, I didn't add it, but I felt like the piece was kind of missing something. It was a little too like symmetrical, so I wanted to like switch it up a little bit. You know?
Yeah. Did it originally just have like the hole in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just like the hole was literally just like a circle.
Yes.
So I switched it up a little bit.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yay.
Yes. You know, I think this could represent communism. You know, it's like I'm giving my heart to communism, and you're so scared about the Red Scare.
It's our heart.
Exactly. You know, that's why I thought I was like so inspiring. And your like descriptions for pieces, are you like, did you mention like as deep of a meaning in those?
Not really, because I didn't want to like just ramble on like I am doing right now, and I'm not really like a sad person, so I felt awkward getting into like all this like deep meaningful stuff, you know, and I know that people are gonna like, hopefully people are gonna like listen to this, but I feel like it's gonna be like less accessible, so I won't have to like pour my heart out to like that many people, you know.
Yeah. You wanted to pour your heart out to podcasts, you know. Thank you, Bradley.
Yes, Bradley. Woo. Thank you.
I know there's some variance, some variety of how the arms are gripping the astronaut. Is there any story behind that?
Right. I wanted it to feel like really overwhelming and just like all encompassing. Like you, no matter what, you can't even escape this monster. Even if he is like literally, the astronaut is literally cut in half. Like there is no hope for this dude.
Poor guy.
And like the text in this comic, I wanted it to be like his final thoughts, like the stars are so beautiful tonight. He's not worried about the monster, you know, he's just thinking about how beautiful the stars are and how like lucky he is he got to explore and he doesn't have to like see his fate that he's literally
This one's literally so depressing, bro.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's so good, but I'm like more, and I'm like, I'm gonna start crying over here, you know?
A lot of my pieces are inspired by like anime and manga. Like I wanted to be a manga artist so bad, but you know.
Hey, you got it right here.
Yes, oh my god, so close.
Well, especially starting with like fan art and manga and stuff. No wonder like most of it is inspired by that.
Yeah. I've never like drawn an astronaut before, so it was really fun to like look up like pictures of like astronaut suits, and I'm like, they literally just look like marshmallows. Oh my god,
like so cute. Like, do I want to do like the United States one or
Among Us got it right? I'll just say that.
Yes, let's go Among Us. Yeah. I think the fact that like, I mean, obviously this is how an astronaut suit works, but like, I mean, not all the time. Whatever. Fuck. Give me a second. When it's like you can't like see the guy's face or whoever is inside. And again, another thing where you can fucking put yourself in the. You're so good at that, you know.
I know we were calling him like he, him, like the astronaut he, him, but like honestly, I didn't really think of like a gender when I like thought of it. So. It kind of, I feel like it makes it even sadder if I think it's like a woman. You know?
Yeah, no, I agree. Damn it.
No.
That's what, you know, I was like, this is too sad. It's like, gotta be a man, you know, make it a little bit better.
Yeah. As for like the Red Scare, I don't know. Red means like angry a lot, you know, and Inside Out showed us.
As we learned from Disney Pixar's 2014, I don't know. Pixar, yeah.
And I just remember being
thank you, anger.
Yes, oh my god, thank you. Inspired by anger.
Yeah, just kidding. Scrap everything else we just said. This is actually supposed to be anger from Inside Out.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Like, I made this like out of anger and out of anxiety, and I was just so angry that I couldn't control anything. I feel like I've said this already.
Hey, that's okay. Go ahead.
And it also felt like so isolating because. Like no matter who, after my dad died, like no matter who I talked to, it was like I just went through like one of the most traumatic things I could ever go to, and like I can't tell anyone about it because we just changed like insurances and like therapist politics or whatever. You know?
Damn.
And it felt like it just felt so isolating, and I was so angry, and I wanted to like put it through my art, and you know, like I don't know. During that time, it was like, I can't talk to anyone about this because I don't want to put them in that situation, you know? Like, I don't want to make them uncomfortable about it. And fuck, I had something like so good to say about this.
It's okay. It'll come back to you. Think, You're putting it through your art, you know, and therapist politics.
And around this time, like, the only person I could talk to, like, was myself.
Yeah.
Like, just sitting in bed listening to like sad music. I was like blah blah blah, like I was ranting to myself about like all of this, like what was happening with me, because I didn't want to bring it up to my mom, and of course she would like be understanding about it, but you know she was literally going through the same thing, and I didn't want to like put more on her plate about it. So yeah. Woo!
Yes, I was kidding. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's definitely hard to like support each other in a time of like you're literally going through the exact same thing.
And I don't know. I felt really angry about a lot of things. Like this was, I thought like last year. I'm like, I just noticed how much I've been changing a lot from like middle school to like high school. Oh my god, I'm salivating a lot. Sorry, from middle school to high school, like. I've just changed so much, and it was so sad that my dad couldn't see that progress. And I, like, to this day, like, I still am really sad about, like, the fact that he can't, like, this is me just, like, ranting now.
That's okay.
Shit, man. And, like, I feel like this shows in some of my pieces, like, it feels like there is no future for me. Sorry, oh my god, like it literally just feels like there's no future for me because like my dad can't walk me down the aisle or something, and like he won't see me graduate, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
maybe you like laughing afterwards. You're like, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, it kind of like not sound terrible, but like impending doom almost.
Like an impending like sort of dread that my accomplishments won't feel like accomplishments, you know. Yeah. And my dad has always like supported my art journey, and it kind of feels right now that most of my art is about him. Yeah. Instead of just like cute little characters. Yeah.
I guess I'll keep drawing anime characters, you know?
A lot of my pieces, I'll just have like arms. Because I don't know, controversial opinion, I love drawing hands and arms so much, bro.
Better artist for that, you know?
They just feel so versatile. And like, just like seeing like stray arms, you're like, whoa, what is that attached to, man?
Oh my god, get that out of there.
And like when you like see arms, you're like, that's gonna grab something. And I feel like, you know, again, like sense of anxiety, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Now, I have a question slightly different. It's about digital art as a whole. Yes. Okay, let's clarify really quick. I don't draw. I don't paint. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. More of the photography kind of side, okay? Is there like, do you go through like the same steps of, I guess, like painting with like in art? Like, is there like a base color and underneath and everything, you know?
For me personally, like for digital art, I don't have a base. I just like start with like a sketch using like whatever pen or pencil that I just recently used, and then like build up from there. So I'll do the sketch, do the line art, and then like it's really easy to just fill colors in. So I'll just start like filling colors in, and then like rendering a little bit more. But for like when I'm painting, like actually painting, I'll start with like a base color, or like I'll start by prepping the canvas because like I get the cheap ones at Michael's.
Let's go. Artist hack. Tips and tricks with Dean.
And I'll start with the base coat there, and usually the base coat really doesn't matter when I like paint acrylic or like oil, but and then I'll like build up from there. There isn't really a sketch with like painting with acrylics or oil, because usually like the pencil marks, if you erase them, they'll just like leave, you know, like gray shitty marks.
Fucking pencil, bro.
And I feel like that's what kind of deterred me a little bit more from like actually painting, because there is more of like a longer process to it. I love painters, like they're so talented, but like
Bob Ross.
Yes, oh my gosh, yes. Like the rendering for painting and like any of like Copic markers, it's so, for me it's like difficult.
Yeah. I like seeing the little TikToks where it's like, this is how to render whatever. And I'm like, I don't know what this means, but I'll watch it, you know?
And rendering is just like based on the artist's opinion, like finishing quotation marks, finishing their piece like how they want it, but like in a better way. Like from just flat colors to like more like 3-dimensional colors, you know?
Is that like the highlights and like shadows and stuff? Okay.
I submitted so many pieces this year, because last year I only submitted one, and it was only because like we needed a piece to match a poem, and I was like, you guys, I have one.
I got this one, guys.
And it I don't know, it felt like unsatisfactory, you know, because I was like, I'll look back on the piece and I'm like, oh, it's so cool still, but like I'm not satisfied with it because it was like a rush job, you know. But these pieces I feel proud of, even if they were kind of rush jobs. I don't know, I was doing
it's not
it,
apparent, and also don't you worry, man.
Thank you. When I do art, I don't really like put a lot of color sometimes. So like last editions was black and white, and then I do have a black and white submission in this one, but you know, I wanted to branch out even more, and I'm not that comfortable with colors yet. I don't want to learn color theory. No, thank you.
Fuck color theory, you know.
So I want to like branch out even more, and like I try to like just do contrasting colors, but it's mostly just red and blue, you know.
That's all you need,
best.
You know?
Yeah, the best.
The best colors, yeah. You got like the red and blue like trope, you know, in there. It's perfect.
Ruby and sapphire.
Lance and Keith, I mean, you know. I think with what like all these pieces are about, like I don't know, I'm just putting fucking words in your mouth, but it's like in a, like obviously using some of these in a way to like cope or just like put things out there. And I think with that, obviously, I think you would be more like passionate or like proud of yourself in that sense. So, you know,
I don't know. I feel like
just explain what you feel.
I like that thought process. I do feel like, I don't know. I feel like I feel more insecure about it because it feels like I'm splaying my heart open, you know? And hopefully people just see this and like think, whoa, pretty colors, you know? Like, oh my God, that one's scary.
Yeah. Whoa, that surely is a red scare.
And like, I'll be glad if they like see the deeper meaning of it, but it's also like really embarrassing. Like, oh my God, you guys, I don't feel sad. It's okay. Like I'm chill, you know.
Guys, I'm good. Yeah, but I think with these again, like what I've been saying and you've been saying, like people are able to insert themselves with their like own story of feeling and stuff. So.
Yeah, I like that.
And they like the fun colors, you know?
Yeah, I like that sometimes you can see it and like just create your own little story and like, you know, the red scare one because it's like some dude, you know?
What's this guy doing? I think that body part is supposed to be inside, but... Guys, this guy's about to die. Call 911.
You know.
Anything else, you know? Any final words? I don't know where we're at in this, you know? So.
I don't know. I feel like I'm at a good point in my life where like I used to, when I was younger, I used to like be like, oh, I have to hurry up and like draw and like do all this stuff. I have to feel like productive with my art or else I won't progress. And like right now I feel like satisfied with where I'm at right now. Like, yeah. Yeah,
because you know, you don't want to like complete things just to like check it off your little box and stuff.
And that's, when I was younger, that's what art felt like just a chore. And this time it just feels like a way for me to like cope. Like it'll always be there, you know? And it's one of the few things that I can like steadily rely on. Like sometimes I'll go like months without drawing anything and then I'll pick it back up again and it feels like hugging like an old friend, you know, just really comforting. And yeah, the art isn't comforting.
The process is fun though. Sorry y'all didn't get to see that, you know.
These pieces take me about like I know you asked that question.
Sorry. So how long do these pieces take you to create, you know?
Yeah, these pieces took like by Pete, like the black and white astronaut ones, they usually, you know, I multiple the one black and white astronaut one took me about like an hour to do because it's just black and white and like the sketch was like the final part of it. I just had to like render it and erase some few lines and then that was it. But boom. Boom. The more complicated color ones were about like 2-3 hours each and like I don't know, from like sketching it to like creating it to like actually coloring it, I always take like pauses in between because I feel like I want it to be so perfect. The black and white one, I feel like I can hide more of like the imperfections because it's just like, you know, it's really like chill like that. And then the colored ones, it's just, I want it to be so perfect because I know people are going to like look at it and analyze it even more. And I just feel like perfectionists, you know, all the time. And like I know some of their hands are a little copy pasted, you know, but
I'm not looking, you know, I can't tell.
With the eyes and Never Alone, I took like a long process to render them because for one eye, I just wanted it to be so perfect, and the other one, I like literally could not like copy. Artist problems, you know.
For sure.
But now I feel like at a point in my life, I feel so satisfied with my art, and I'm just glad to have had it with me, you know, throughout the years as a tool. Like, yeah.
Well, slay. Is there any I guess final words? You know.
Nothing really. Just know that I am not a depressed person. Okay, I'm very happy with my life,
guys. From what I've seen, you know, Dean's a pretty happy, bubbly person. So always smiling, always cheesing, you know.
It's just my art that's sad.
You got to do it like that sometimes, you know.
So I feel so awkward just like talking about it because it's not really like me, you know. I mean, it is me, but it's like a me that I don't want people to like see because it's so vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what a lot of art is. You know?
True. It is.
And with that, let's
all right, thank you all.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you all for joining the Visual Media podcast. This is Jane signing out.
Woo! This is Dean.
Also signing out.
Yes, signing out. Yes.
Thank you, Bradley, for having to edit this.
I know. I'm so sorry, Bradley. I'm so sorry.
Dean, you're an amazing artist. And thank you for joining me on this podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Bye, podcast people.
Bye-bye.